Khary's Kitchen, powered by Food Hall, Grocery Made Greater, Ibis, a tradition of excellence, Caribbean flavors. In the heart of every kitchen, Lotus, the confidence to create. Correga Garden Supplies, Good and Natural. Indie, spice up your life, distributed by Edward B.B. Harry. Champion, always a winner, distributed by Edward B.B. Harry. Lion, the power behind our great taste traditions. Excellence Stores Limited. Live, create, do.
Today, I ran a little bit late. So late that the Carnage Fishing Center almost closed on me. Thankfully, Santa in the back going to handle the scene. Because right now, a last minute. Oh, this man really have my Khary waiting, you know. Santa, morning. I'm so glad you're here. I'm running late. But I want to get some Khary and some Khary.
It's 1.5 hours now. Have some Khary here.
Let's see what you have there. Yeah, man, the thing looking good. All right, well, they have these two next to each other one time. Weigh them.
So,
yeah, I'll take these two. Weigh them up and see what the damage is.
I'll take out $13 for this.
Right?
And about $40 for this.
All right. Sometimes you don't have all the time in the world, so you need to make a quick meal so you can get going. So for this episode of Khary's Kitchen, we're starting off with our ramen, because you know that quick, and we're jazzing it up just a little bit. And later on in Chef It Up, we let in the oven do most of the work while we handle other things. So let's get started. First things first, I need water boiling, because my ramen noodles will take just a few minutes. So while we let that heat up, when it starts boiling, we'll add the noodles. In the meantime, I'm going into the fridge to grab my fish. And Santa really saved the day. So we started off with the ramen. And my brand of choice is Sonomi. Now, we're starting with the flavor of the ramen itself. So I'm going to take this chili paste and use that to marinate my fish. And I'm right on time, the water is simmering, so I can add my noodles while this happens. All right, so while that's going, let me get this flavor packet open. And we're starting off with flavor with my fish fillet. And this is local Khary. So I'll leave this to sip and reserve it for later when we're going to pan it. Just a few more minutes and they'll be ready to go. In the meantime, I could bring my garnishes across. And I have just 1 clove of garlic I want to add to this to enhance the flavor even further. I want to ensure that I don't have big chunks because I don't want to chew on big chunks of garlic in my broth. And it's quick and easy. So in goes the garlic. adds a base of flavor. And speaking of flavor base, there's a seasoning pack in here that I'm going to use that came with the Sonomi ramen. And that will compound the flavor even further. And guess what? The remainder of the chili paste goes right in as well. Nothing gets wasted here. We're not quite done with the flavor. We want to ease that spice just a little bit. So I'm going to add some Caribbean flavors coconut milk to give it some creaminess, to ease that spice, and to add a different depth of flavor. And a little bit goes a long way. At this point, I'll lower my flame just to allow the flavors to just gently meld together. In the meantime, I'm going to grab another pan. Let me get this fire going. And this is the pan that I'll use to sear my fish that has been marinating for a while. Turn your heat to about medium-low. Just give it some time. And we're going to go skin side down on the fish. Flip it just once and let it cook all the way through. And then we'll be ready to set it aside and we'll be almost ready for assembly. All right, it's about time to sear that fish. So this pan is nice and hot. And as I said, skin side down. Hear that sizzle? Just leave it, let it do its thing. And when it's halfway through, one flip, and then go all the way through. Now I took my ramen off and it's waiting here just for my fish and my other garnishes to go on. But maybe you're a noodle person or even a pasta person. So you could try this with some other type of pasta. You could try shell pasta or even chow mein from Champion. So this is just about ready to flip. And very carefully, and we have a beautiful color on the skin. Same goes for the next one. Once these are out, then these two will go in, and then after that, it'll be time to assemble. All right, first things first. Noodles go in at the base, and we want to make things look a little nice. You eat with the eyes first. So I'm taking a little extra care to do a plating that would look attractive. So look how something as simple as ramen could become something a little bit on the fancy side, but not hard to do. Put the ramen in the center of the bowl. I'll save this broth for later on. I have my lovely pieces of Khary that was seared to perfection. And I will lay right in the center of the noodles there. While that waits, we have some fresh carrot. Julienne, if I were to say so myself. As a little chef school term for that type of cut. Some fresh cabbage. So you get that textural difference, you get the sweetness of the carrots, you get that crunch of the cabbage, and of course with the cucumbers as well, you get an additional crunch and just that refreshing bite of cucumber. Get a little more generous over there. Finally some chive or chives, however you pronounce them. And I'll put that right on top of my fish. Finally, I need to grab a ladle real quick. And my trusty Berlinger house ladle comes to the rescue. And I'll just gently spoon some of that lovely broth with coconut and all those flavors, chili, just on the side, because we're not trying to drench everything. We want just enough broth to make a lovely ramen. Now, wasn't that quick and easy? So coming up in chef school, I'm going to show you how you're going to fillet a fish, and later on for Chef Top, you're going to do something a little bit fancier. All right, so welcome to Chef School, and today for Chef School, I'm going to teach you how to fillet a fish. And we got this nice Khary again from Santa, who saved the day. I told you, Christmas come early. So the first thing you want to do is go under this fin right here, and you're cutting at a diagonal angle, and you're going all the way down to the bone. And this bone is going to be your guide. So once that is there, you're going to go in with your knife, the tip of your knife, and press against the spine to keep that knife running along the spine of the fish. And it will also run alongside those fins. The reason you keep the knife along the spine is to stay as close and not waste any of the meat on the inside. So the closer you stay to the spine, the better it is for your cut, because as you see this over here, once you stay close, no meat is wasted and staying on the bones. So I just go back through. You need a really sharp knife for this process. And I'm using a Berlinger house knife from our good friends at Excellent Stores. And this is making my life a whole lot easier. And remember, again, a sharp knife is a safe knife. So you're gonna make sure you keep your tools maintained. And just like that, using the tip of your knife, keep it pressed against the bone. And you get that fillet, leaving as little meat behind as possible. And as soon as I'm done here, then we're gonna tackle everything that we need to for chefed up. Once you get through that, again, keep your knife down, run in against the spine, and you work your way through. That fillet is done. Repeat the process on the other side. Quick recap, fin up, diagonally, so the diagonal goes toward the head of the fish. And it's almost like a bias cut. Another way you could get this, you could go from the tail, make an incision there, keep your knife pressed against the spine, all right, flat blade, and just work your way through, keeping the blade of the knife at about 10 to 15 degrees facing downward. Very sharp angle. All right, this came and netted there. This came right out. Just have a little trim to do, and look at that. There's the spine. And again, if you want to save even all this meat on the inside here, you could take a spoon. You could use that for tartare. You could use that for ceviche and any other things that you don't have to really worry about the look of it. But we have some nice fillets here. I'm going to trim these up and get going for my meal for Chef School. All right, our fish is ready to go. So into a bowl, and we're gonna get it marinated. So I have these boneless fillets over here. And these bigger fillets, just a few bones in the center, but nothing you will fight up with too much. And seasoning is simple. And Caribbean flavors, green seasoning. That's more than enough. Plenty flavor to go around. Some salt and some pepper. So you want to massage that in well, because we want every inch of every piece to be coated with this nice seasoning. And we let this marinate for a while I clear up everything else. So we're cooking fast today, so we want to go with two things at the same time. First things first, grabbing my trays, one for the fish and one for the vegetables. So over here I have some broccoli, cauliflower, go directly into the tray. carrots. And into this, we're gonna hit some olive oil, just a drizzle. Pink Himalayan salt, my favorite. And just a sprinkle of Caribbean Flavors black pepper. Get this all mixed in together. The reason I didn't add my beetroot yet is because if I tossed it with everything, everything would just be pink. So in this bowl, a little bit of olive oil. And I want to keep the sweetness in those beets. So no salt going in here. And just in one section by itself, we'll try as best as possible to keep them separated from the other vegetables. But it's not so important because they're all going in the same place, right? Next step, my fish. So this fish is going in skin side down in my tray. Have these beautiful fillets of this Khary. It's local fish. Again, we support local here. Rinse my hands. And into a 400-degree oven, they both go at the same time, so we save in time. So while I clean this up, we'll take a short break and come right back. Fish and veggies in the oven, so now it's time to tackle the rice. First things first, some butter. To that, we're gonna add a little bit of onions, roughly a tablespoon, and just a of garlic. So while this butter is melting, time to get my rice. And Lotus Parboil is the brand I am using. About a cup and a half of rice is good. By the time this swells up, it'll feed a lot. The nice thing about parboiled rice too is that it cooks quickly. So what you want to do is perfume your rice. So you saute that in the butter with the aromatics so the flavor starts even before you add any water. So what I'm doing right now is toasting the rice, and you're getting that kind of nutty aroma coming from it. And what I'm making with this rice is a herbed rice pilaf. Pilaf is just a fancy way to say a rice cook-up. So we're going to steam the rice down, and at the very end, add some fresh herbs. Alright, so this rice is nice and coated with that butter. You're getting the aromas coming off of it, so I know it's time to add my hot water. Right in the pan, a generous pinch or two of Caribbean Flavors Pink Himalayan salt. And this will steam until the rice is cooked all the way through. And just before we turn it off, we're gonna add those fresh herbs. In the meantime, I think we can make that curry sauce. So we're going with two types of fat here. Some butter and some oil. We're going with the oil first, and then the butter. That way the butter doesn't burn. So that, the first thing we're going to go in with is some garlic. That's roughly a tablespoon. Ginger follows. And we let that saute just a little bit before we add our onions. We're starting to see some color happening already. And the garlic, because of the sugars in it, is caramelizing quickly. And that's a good thing if you're making a coconut curry sauce, because that gives a deeper, richer flavor. So now it looks and smells like it's ready for my onions. I'm going to saute this just until the onions begin to soften and the aroma start coming out. So we can add our curry powder. So you want to toast the curry with your aromatics. Don't let it sit too long because it does tend to burn easily, but you really want the perfume to come out of it. So to this, I will add just a splash of hot water. So I'll cook these spices down until it's almost dry. Then I'll be almost ready for my next stage. So for my next stage, I'm going to grab my coconut milk. And for me, only Caribbean flavors will do. So I'll add this directly to my hot water. And I'm being very generous with this because I want a rich coconut flavor. This goes right into my curry sauce. With this much liquid, it'll take some time to cook down. But at this stage is where I can add my very fragrant pimento peppers, and that adds flavor and a burst of color. While these pots are going, time to get some fresh herbs. You don't get much fresher than growing in your own kitchen. Let me give these a quick rinse and it's to the cutting board. So a little salt and a little black pepper will go a long way. Good news, my fish is ready to go, but the veg needs a little more time. Speaking of time, it's time to turn off this rice. So to finish this rice, a knob of cold butter, the fresh herbs I just got. So I'm just folding the butter and the fresh herbs into the rice to finish it. And the last thing I'm waiting for is the veg that's in the oven. So let me clear up and prepare myself to get everything together. All right, and time to add the finishing touch to my coconut curry sauce and add some fresh shadow beni. And that could come off the fire. Veg in the oven should be ready by now, and we're good to go. So now the rice is done, sauce is done, veg is done, and the fish is done. So you know what time it is? Time to get plating. So I'm not doing this one ordinary. The name of this is Chefed Up, right? So we have to chef it up, of course. I'm using this bowl here as a mold. And hopefully if all goes well, it'll come out nicely. Spring with a little beetroot. Spread the love around. Cauliflower. Broccoli. Carrots. We're making this one look nice. So now I'll grab one of these fillets. Take this nice hefty one over here, if it would cooperate. There we go. And finally, with this spoon, I'll spoon some of this coconut curry sauce right over top of this fish. Bright colors, bold flavors, different textures. And if you ask me, you really can't go wrong with a meal like this. Quick, easy, healthy, and great for when you're running last minute. Earlier in the program with Feed the Fam, we jazzed up our ramen and we gave you some other options too, pasta or chow mein, champion brand. And now for Chefed Up, we chefed it up a little bit, and in chef school we showed you how to fillet that fish, and we have a lovely fillet right here. Coconut curry sauce, that herbed rice, and even some roasted vegetables, everything going so well together. So the only thing left for me now to do is eat. All right guys, so join me next time in Khary's kitchen to find out exactly what is cooking. Winning.
What do you want people to feel when they watch this film?
I want people to feel inspired. I want people to feel like they could do it too, and it's not too hard. And I want people to feel like they could step out of their comfort zone a little bit, because I help to guide them there.
Khary's Kitchen, powered by Food Hall. Grocery made greater. Ibis, a tradition of excellence. Caribbean flavors. In the heart of every kitchen. Lotus, the confidence to create. Correga Garden Supplies. Good and natural. Indie, spice up your life. Distributed by Edward B.B. Harry. Champion, always a winner. Distributed by Edward B.B. Harry. Lion, the power behind our great taste traditions. Excellence Stores Limited. Live